Good evening. Hello and welcome to part 22 of our first playthrough of Fire Emblem Engage. Today, we're hanging out in the dark. It's Fog of War again. With a twist. We haven't dealt with Fog since Tamara's joined chapter? I think, when we get Ike. I booted up the game and loaded up the map to take a look at, get as much information as I could get during, off time. I've been playing my Alir solo file recently, and I'm almost back to this point because it's way easier than I thought it would be. So, here we are. My Alir solo run is currently at the previous chapter, chapter 19. So, way easier than I expected. Regardless, I found a thing. This motherfucker has an entrap staff. And I checked, I don't have a silence staff, actually. And I don't know if I can buy one? And if I can, I don't know if I can afford one. I can buy a silence staff. I can afford it too. Okay. Maybe I should just pick one of those up. I should check and see if I damage stack Diamant. Get him a strength tonic. Get him a adjacent to Alir. With Mula gear equipped. Let's see. He's got 25 strength. Mula gear puts him up to 41 attack, so that's 16. 16 mites. So 41, 42, 43, so 46 total damage with Strength Tonic and Alir versus, so it'd be 46 divided by 5. Or sorry, 46 times 0.3. So it's gonna do 14 damage per swing. No, I don't think that's how the calculation works. So it's got 21 defense, plus 5 from shielding art. Wondering if we can just Astral Storm this nerd and kill him. This is basically what I'm trying to get at. Okay, I hate to run as soon as the stream starts, but I actually need to write a cave for a second. And then we will give this a shot. Sorry about that. I am here. Alright. So, yeah, we'll see if we damage stack Diamant. If he can kill that Entrap Staff in one hit. I don't know how calculations work for it. For what it says, 5 bow attacks at 30% damage. I don't know when it calculates the 30% though. Because if we look at it like, okay, he would deal 25 damage. Because he'd have 46 attack with the Moolah Gear, Strength Tonic, base strength, obviously, and Alir's personal. So he would deal 25 damage. 30% of that is 8 damage each. And 8 damage times 7. 42. Should work. But we'll see. I do need to get a Strength Tonic. So I need to buy Diamant. Well, it doesn't really matter where it lands, but it's going in the convoy anyway. Inventory, Diamant. Strength Tonic. Yep. Based on the information that we have, I don't think I need the hammer. I see a Mage Knight, a Warrior, Paladin. Oh, there's a Great Knight, so maybe I should keep it. A couple of Squad Masters. These guys are very fast. 34 attack speed is a lot. My Alir has 35 with, I think, +2 or 3 from +3 from our meal. So these guys are going to be a pain in the ass to kill. Louis can absolutely plow through the Silver Sword one, and then somebody else can follow up and finish him off, but dealing with the Levin Sword one is going to be more challenging. I kind of did get sides set up based on where I want everybody to go. So, Louis, Ivy, Hortensia, Saline, and Seagull to the left. I may be overstacking combat quite a bit on the right here. Alir is also going to go to the left. And then Rosado. Actually, no, I can't send like that. I need to switch somebody on the sides here. Trying to think what I'm missing. We have Rider effectiveness with Louis. We can just engage with Sigurd and use the Rider's Bane. We have that with Rosado on the side as well. We have tanky units on either side with Penette on the right, Louis on the left. We have magic damage on both sides with Ivy, Hortensia, and Pandreo on the right. Yunaka's quite dodgy, Alir's quite dodgy, so those two are on the sides. I'm just trying to figure out, like, because I want to send a staff user to the right as well. Though realistically, Hortensia can probably carry the healing on both sides from one side. Just via Great Sacrifice. At least for, like, influential turns. But maybe I'll send Ivy to the right instead of, like, Yunaka. Considering how strong Hortensia's magic damage output is. Or maybe I just switch Pandreo with Ivy. That way we're still retaining that magic damage on the right. But also adding staffs. Staffs. Listen to me. Staves. Ivy can also bondage shield for Rosado, so if we ever get Rosado to a point where he's like low HP, we can maybe slap the Silver Great Axe on him for an enemy phase and bondage shield next to him with Ivy, and just bait a bajillion damage, kind of like we did with Hortensia in the previous chapter. Oh, that was such a juicy turn, man. Pandreo should work really well against this Levin Sword guy, considering he takes 0 damage. Strong. Chaos style also makes it to where he doesn't get doubled, which is pretty neat, I guess. But that's player phase. I can just make it to where he takes no damage. Alright, I think this is what we're going to go with. I think probably my first turn is going to be engage Hortensia, use her to attack this guy with Shine to light up some area up here. Maybe move up like to right here with Saline and torch there. I want to torch with Yunaka as well, so probably move her just onto the pillar and torch, considering Thief Vision. Nice. It does work in preps. If you aren't familiar with this mechanic, thieves have increased vision in the dark. You can move your thief around in preps to see additional enemies that you otherwise couldn't from just their starting position. So, that did just mess up my entire formation, but it wasn't, like, super set in stone anyway. So Diamant's not moving turn 1. He's just going to Astra Storm from either here or here, wherever he can reach from. I think Rosado needed to be here to reach the Mage Knight. Yunaka just needs to be able to reach the pillar, so right here is fine. Ivy can reach both the Mage Knight and the Warrior. Okay, yeah, we're solid. Alright, let's give it a go.
Let's keep the fun going. I'm gonna make you work for it.
He vanished. Chris must be using Emblem Celica's power. He's probably hiding in the shadows. Be careful, everyone.
The fuck?
I'm ready. Emblem.
Okay. I feel like I did the math wrong twice. I don't think I can squeak out 2 more damage in any way. Emblem Byleth is only going to give magic on Rally Instruct. Trying to think of any other personal skills that could do it. If I shoot him, though, maybe he'll move?
Now I have you. It's on!
We'll see what happens.
What you got?
Okay. Hi! We found the boss! Isn't that exciting? Alright. Sure.
Verily.
It doesn't look like he's gonna warp Ragnarok. The danger lines would be there for it. Oh, he'll warp Ragnarok in his normal range. So he's not actually going to warp Ragnarok somebody. This is a kill boss map.
Devoted to you.
Oh, man. If only my units actually dealt damage. I can get Penette to him with Seedall. Penette can do damage. I can get Louis there with Sigurd.
Emblem, engage.
Yeah. He doesn't get doubled, which is pretty nice. He does one-tap this health bar. Let's start here, then.
So what's the plan? You're gonna stab me, mash me, shred me to ribbons?
I love his facial expressions.
Let's begin.
There is nothing to fear. Oh, Sally, you're all fired up, aren't you? Let loose! This feels good. So good. I'm gonna kill you. All of you! Tired of playing hide and seek? Me too. Let's get vicious.
Man! My plan! Okay. Fine. Tell me how you really feel, Rosato.
May I?
Here it comes! What'd you think?
Pretty good. Oh, IV doubling things feels really nice. Good to have you back, lass. I know I made a really big deal early on about not getting IVA Volcanon. For a little bit. But
I will help.
because of her build,
Impressive.
but she obviously uses it very well.
Here goes.
Alright, so
Where to?
let's do this.
A little help, please.
Micaiah. Shine. The silver sword one. Because I want the vision further up. Alright. Nothing, huh? Well, I can't see that bottom corner, which is a bit vexing. But it'll be alright, I guess. Nice. Divine Pulse, very helpful for low accuracy tomes. I will say that. That's unfortunate. He is hexed now, though. Yeah, we double with Alear now, which kills him. She takes like no damage. Draconic Hex is a good ability, who would have thought? We take no damage anyway, she dodged, but Hex good. Smile. Dance with Cantor is busted. We can see pretty far, but not super far. I think we're pretty safe to come up here, though.
May all find salvation.
Nice. More speed is really good. Pandreo is my fast boy after all. Well, my fast boy mage. Ah! The entrap staff did move. Not sure if I'm okay with that or not, because now I can't see where it is, but I know it's there. I think to bait it, honestly, I want to use Panette with Ike and just Great Ether. Probably with the Irvin. Her losing 4 extra attack speed would kind of hurt, though. But I would also really like to one-tap this, this guy. And if I remember correctly, he has 21 defense, 42 HP, so that's 63 that we need to hit. That does it with the hammer. And the hit rate, or the attack speed stays up. So let's Great Ether with the hammer here. Gris is still on the throne. Or whatever protection tile up there. And I can... I don't think I can break the enemy AI like this, but we can try... we can try summoning doubles.
Let's begin. You're dead.
Nice.
Winning.
Strength and bulk. Not the stats I was expecting from Yunaka, but they're the stats we're getting. Alright, so we'll call doubles. Probably doesn't affect anything, but we'll give it a go.
Now you've done it.
Just want vision. Alright, so there's the Sword Masters. We did it! She got equivalent strength to magic! What a fucking legend. That's so bad. Okay. We should be able to bait these guys with a leer. A silver blade. Huh. Blade weapon, actually not a big fan of finding here. We could try and scoot over there, but I don't know like what else is in this fog here. Like, Panette's fine. She's nigh invincible once she gets into resolve range during Great Ether. So I could maybe even go up here. The 139 avoid puts her pretty untouchable versus most of these enemies. I don't think the thieves are going to attack. They're probably bound for chests. And I could maybe even engage for the extra levels.
Lend me your...
Pump up her bulk and speed a bit. And actually, I think with that speed increase, she doubles the... Yeah, she does double these guys. Consistently, I think Rise Above will provide Alear 4 to 5 speed. Because in Wolf Knight, her speed growth is like 75%. Oh. I wasn't tracking all enemy ranges. Okay. 32 AS. He can handle. I don't want to move too far forward here with my other units, but I'm pretty sure the... Oh, what's this? Oh, that's just a Chi Adept. Okay. Physic recover. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure the other Chi Adept started, like, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's probably here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's able to reach a lot of my units with Entrap, but hopefully there's not too many enemies to deal with near it. I have a feeling there's a lot of enemies in the fog right here to jump whoever gets entrapped. So since we've got the Chi Adept to move early, hopefully it's not too bad. Let's see what happens. Yep, there's the entrap on Penette. Perfect. Calculated. Ah, just shy of killing. That's brutal, man. Ah, there go the thieves. Ooh, Axe Breaker. Interesting.
This will hurt.
That's fucking dope. Alright, here comes the pain.
Oh, you can.
Ooh, smoked him. Okay, there was a couple of Wolf Knights. They did no damage to Penette, so they just ignored her. Oh, that's phenomenal. Where's Louis' movement? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this fucking game and its stupid fucking fog mechanic. God, it's awful. Okay, fine. Diamant, go shoot the guy, I guess. Hate this game's fog mechanic. So basically, like, you can't walk into Fog of War. That was their solution to players bumping into enemy units. They're just like, you just can't do it anymore. Okay, I guess. Super not accurate, but Divine Pulse. Ail
All in the name of peace.
Do I have a torch? I do on Seedall? Let's use one on Alir. Alright, there's another Great Knight up here. 45 attack. So this guy just didn't move. I don't know if he's programmed to not move until a certain point, or if he doesn't have enough hit. Because, like, he can definitely deal damage. 158 hit does hit her avoid. So, I don't know.
Now that was a party.
Wondering if I can get a Lear to the other pillar here. I can. Ooh. Now these guys are cavalry, not mystical. Very, very important distinguishing. Very important to distinguish. Because they do not ignore terrain bonuses for combat. That's something from the mystical trait, not from magic itself. So she's 100% safe there. That's all Diamant can really do. What I would love to do is get vision here. I think I would need to just wrap Panette around. Have Panette come over here. No, I need vision right here. Which might be here? But I'd rather not have a Mage Knight come over here and attack Panette. But if I attack with the Tomahawk, she can counterattack, I guess. She's pretty chunky right now.
I will help. I will not lose.
There we go. So that opens up movement there. I meant to attack the Paladin, because what I wanted to do was override. But I couldn't override if she's standing there anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter. You can attack with the Rider's Bane. We'll do it with the Silver Great Lance, because he takes no damage from knives, so he won't get poisoned.
May I? You're ornery.
Gods, please protect us.
Slap the Tomahawk on him. We have enough chain attacks to just kill,
You have my thanks.
even if we miss that. And nobody over here is in any danger of dying to a single Silver Lance Paladin.
You're done for.
Victory pose!
Louis is fine. We don't need to physic him. Hortensia, I don't want to put in range of even a silver sword, but obviously not even a silver lance. Pandreo can take a hit. Hortensia likely cannot. So, we'll chill for now. Chunky Great Knight. Thick lad. Maybe I should have put Bennett in range of both. I didn't realize she was going to one-tap him.
A good win.
This is fine.
All flowers eventually wilt.
The fact that they give Great Knight's warding stance makes me upset. Like, extremely upset. There's no reason for that. Fanny bombed.
I will not be afraid.
That's beautiful. Maybe could have great sacrificed with Magaya there instead. Oh, I still can. So I have a dancer. So let me do the rest of my combats and then we can great sack. I'm gonna refresh the torch here. And what is this? Just a killer axe. Louis has no fear. Still no fear. Silver Sword. Oh. 35 plus. What's your base strength at? 26. So 9 might. 35 plus 18 times 2. So 35 plus 18 is 40, 53. He's hitting Louis for 9. Twice. Lamau. The rest of them are going to ignore him, except for the Killer Axe, which is going to hit him for 2. Okay, guy.
I will help.
Okay.
I won't flinch.
Money. Do I move Ivy up here? She will get doubled by him. She's not the squishiest unit, but there's also just no reason to do it. Like, we can get a counterattack. Well, actually, this one's not going to attack Louis, so 38 attack times 2 is 16, 32 damage. She survives it. We are great sacking right now, so it's not super relevant to do. I think instead, I might slap the Ragnell on Panette and let her come get bonked on. Just kind of move Ivy up. Put a Lear on this. Do I just move a Lear up to like here and torch? Hope for the best. We have 118 passive avoid. It's not really that high, to be honest. Binding Blade gives defense and res plus 5. It's a little less strong than the Silver Dagger, but it will be better for survivability if we get hit. But the Holy Engraving on the Silver Dagger means it probably won't get hit. Hopefully. We also have Holdout plus, so she would have to die essentially twice in one phase. This is fine. No one has any way of getting on her opposite side, so pincer attack does nothing. Flame Lance is going to be largely irrelevant. 26 magic attack deals 3 damage. Yeah, she's fine here. these two have to be in the same spot to attack. So if this one moves to here, this one full stop just doesn't have a square to attack from. So we should be good. Let's get off Great Sack before it goes away. Okay.
Let's do this.
And it happened. Lamau. Yeah, just walked straight forward and blocked off the square necessary. God, Panette is just about as bulky as Louis with Ike. That's wild. Oh, her HP's gotten to the point where chain attacks deal 7 now. Oh. 4% crit. Sheesh. Rescue staff, okay. And Brave Bow? Don't particularly care about either of those, I don't think.
Understood.
Yeah, we should do this a little smarter.
If I may.
But yeah, I didn't know that the calculation for chain attacks for a long time was 10% of max HP. I just didn't know that. But I saw it one day and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
May I? Not done yet.
Oh. Missed a 90. Oh, Rosado. You spoil me. That's okay, we have extra attacks here. I would really like to just move Panette forward, but we can just attack with her, and that's fine. Tomahawk is better accuracy because of the Awakening Forge, so...
I will not lose.
God, those hit rates are terrible. I mean, I get it, he's on terrain, I get that, but... Yoinks.
I will help.
Nice.
Remember this.
Got there.
I
Issue.
must play my part.
Louis is getting kind of wrecked. Does die to this Corrupted. This Corrupted didn't attack him last turn, though. Maybe he couldn't reach? Because was there a Swordmaster right here? I think there was. I think Panette was in his way. I mean, I could just come up here and... I don't think we get out of crit range with Louis here. So I think we just sit here in Elixir. I still think he dies to a crit. Well, 2 crits. Which is relatively... Well, Fierce Stance, not hit. Yeah. I think he'll have to get double crit to die. Is more what I'm getting at. Way better accuracy adjacent to Alir. Damage is irrelevant because he was going to die anyway, but... Mystical feels bad.
Fighting is so messy.
Nice. Yeah, it's just slightly less damage, but bulk-wise, it's quite good. Nice. Could try dancing for Pandreo now. With the amount of tools that we have to see through fog here, actually pretty solid. We can stand here. I think I'd rather stand here and not... actually, no, this guy has a Flame Lance. We can do this pretty freely. He's not going to attack Pandreo. Doesn't matter if he gets doubled for 0. Alright. Yeah, he does no damage to any of my units with a Hex. That's amazing. Attacking with a Silver Bow. Interesting. Oh, that was a different one. Okay. Oh, he was taking extra damage. Oh, I misread Fierce Stance. Right. Yeah, that's my bad. Okay. Well... I can just Draconic Hex, or sorry, not Draconic Hex, lock this guy in place. We don't know when Gris is going to do anything. He doesn't seem to want to warp Ragnarok anywhere. So I kind of want to just like reveal this tile here. Get my engage meter back with Panette. Oh, hey, there's some Wolf Knights. With stilettos. How vexing.
Whatever you require.
Yeah, Yunaka does gross amounts of damage with Erica. And a decent amount of crit, too.
Let's begin.
Victory is mine.
Nice. A little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra bulk. That's good. That's good. That's nice.
Unforgettable.
Smashing him into the wall. Get borked, nerd. Yeah, he's gonna make it to... Oh, he has pass. He'll make it into the darkness. That's a bit annoying. I'll have to reveal him later.
Emblems protect us.
Actually think I might, if I can, move Pandreo over here. Like, do this. Lock, kill this guy. Dance for Pandreo. Move up here. Lock these Wolf Knights in place. I don't even need to kill this guy. I could kill him with Saline or even Alir. The issue is the Thief here. Like, the Thief is my problem. I don't want him to get away, because Silverblade and Rescue are both pretty nice. Silverblade could be like a really valuable tool to use on Alir on enemy phase, maybe, if I know we're only facing 1-2 or 1 range. Could also be really good on Diamant for enemy phase, especially knowing that with Speed Taker stacks, he's never going to get doubled by anything. Maybe not the best example, because if he's got Speed Taker stacked, he can just double with stronger weaponry. But definitely useful for Alir. So, something I'd like to try without having to buy it. But my only way of reaching this guy this turn is to kill him with, or to catch him with Pendreo. And he doesn't do enough damage with Bolganon to make it worth it. And, yeah, that's some spooky damage, because Pendreo is not very tanky.
I can handle it.
Would also like to recharge Alir's engage meter. So, since the Thief should be in retreat AI, I don't have any real fear of Saline getting jumped by him, currently. So, I think what I want to do is... I don't think that does anything for me. I don't really see a reason to do it then. Actually, this might not be a terrible spot to do that at. Oh, hi. Is that a longbow? It is a longbow. Oh, this was not a good spot to do this. Okay. Oh, there's a fourth one. Nice. Do they all have stiletto? Oh, they all just have stilettos. Okay. That's perfect then. Pendreo's Thoron brings his attack speed down to 11, so he will get doubled and one-rounded by a longbow. That's a super awkward thing to deal with. Huh. Who would have thought the longbow would be the bane of my existence here? Yeah, we may just have to rewind it, since, I mean, I could use, like, Rescue Staff on Hortensia if I wanted to, but... Or freeze him in place, I guess. Neither of those feel like nice options, but I suppose we can freeze. Thor on this guy. Even if we miss, it still locks all four in place. Because Dreadful Aura is a dumb ability. Oh, one hit. Sheesh. Ooh, where are you escaping to? Back out the door they came through? That's, yeah. I guess. So, now we just attack him from here. Honestly, kind of hope we miss so we can reuse the strategy for a third turn and not have to bait anything, but we obviously didn't, so that's fine. Beautiful. Alright. Rescue staff, get. Silver blade, get.
May I?
A proud victory.
Alright. Brave bow, get. Secret book, get. So this is risky, right? Obviously. Ooh, no, he gets doubled by those. We can't do that. They're all locked in place. This guy can reach Saline with the longbow, so he does need to die. I could have attacked from a different position with her, so that's kind of my fault.
Here until the end.
We could also just leave a Lear right there, which... No, it doesn't occupy both spaces that she can be attacked from, so... God, I'd really hate to freeze again. But Lear doesn't kill him, I don't think. We don't have enough damage. But if we weaken him... This should definitely keep him from reaching us.
Emblem engage. Ready yourself.
Oh. Okay.
Now the true battle begins.
A little bit of bulk is nice. Oh, that is, a break right there, though. It's a bit unfortunate. It's fine either way, I think, though. This map is for sure over in 4 turns, right? Like...
You're done for.
can probably engage all of my units just fine. Like, it's probably over next turn, in fact. Let's get brawling, shall we?
I will help. Better to act than to worry.
Cuteness combined.
Emblem, engage!
Louis, we kind of want to hover. I guess right here is fine, though. Yeah. Not the best. need you to not. Thanks. Alright, there's Gris. And Gris is
I'll never yield.
still not Warp Ragnaroking? Like, it's not displaying in his AI, which means he's just not going to do it? I'm so confused. I mean, fine, I guess, but still confused.
Emblem, engage. Enough.
Oh, yeah!
Hanging on.
Fucking fog, man. Oh, and I'm not engaged on Hortensia anymore. Of course not. Blazing Lion doesn't seem particularly relevant here, unfortunately. No, Diamant's not doing anything this turn. Ooh, nice. It's a named dagger. It's a one range only dagger. Okay.
Whatever it takes. I don't want to sacrifice anyone.
I don't like that 7% crit. At all, in fact.
Our foes are strong.
That's good to know. Chain guarding a dagger does not apply a stack of poison. This is good information to have.
How do you like to be hurt, Divine One? I'm a people pleaser.
Hand over the ring, Gris.
Ignoring me? Oh, that hurts my feelings. Fine, I'll give you the ring. As soon as I've gotten my fill.
Let's begin.
That was a fierce battle.
Oh, man. Who doesn't love being trapped in the dark with a masochist? It's my favorite part of the day. Oh, chain guard, of course.
dropped your guard.
Why do we repeat our mistakes?
Ooh, a Gentilly Plus. I'm guessing that's 5 less damage taken. I didn't read it, to be honest with you. Oh wait, no, I wanted to kill this, this Wolf Knight. Hold on. Alright. I'm gonna use it. Never happened.
Won't you join me?
I expected to be churning through crystal uses on this map. But we haven't really used them at all.
Strike will decide it all.
There we go. Support bonuses. Oh.
Guess I did it right.
Yo, Yunaka, chill, homie. What a savage. Nice accuracy. I'm going for it. That's okay. Oh well. Alright. That was it's a pretty fun map. I didn't hate that fog map, which I don't think is ever a sentence I would have said.
May I? Look what you made me do.
Exquisite. That's the good stuff right there.
That's not a screen I expected to see. Though I suppose this was a very, very heavy player phase map. The only time I really had a big enemy phase was that one where we intentionally got Pinette entrapped. Fair enough. And I know Saline did get quite a few kills just Thoronning from 3 range, so... Okay. You got it. Well, that was pretty good.
The ring. We got it back. What are you laughing at?
Me? Nothing. Better summon her. Want to free her from Lord Sombron's power, don't you?
I know. Carefura! Emblem of Echoes! I thank you. Emblem Celica, it's such a relief to have you back again.
Oh man, ain't this whole thing just a laugh riot? Zephyr, that little hunch of yours was so dead on!
I think it's clear you've lost your mind.
Look at you acting all high and mighty. It's clear you've lost your mind. Yeah, that's cute. The real question is, have you lost yours? You're playing up this whole thing like you're a god, but you're fighting on the wrong side. Why are you staring at me with that stupid look on your face? You think you're a divine dragon? Let me set you straight. You are the child of the Fell Dragon!
I am his child? No, but...
Plot twist. Also, does it matter?
How dare you utter such slander, such lies?
If the dragon doesn't remember it, how the hell would you know anything? Were you there 1,000 years ago? I'll tell you how I figured it out. Divine and Fell dragons can both summon emblems, right? But they don't do it the same way. Divine dragons pray. Fell dragons, though, they use invocations. That's how you summon Celica. That's how you've done it all along, isn't it? Which means you're, say it with me, the Fell Dragon's child.
But then... I don't understand. Why did Mother call me her child?
How should I know? You'll have to ask her. Oh, wait.
You blackguard!
What a sarcastic
Sticks and
twat.
stones, buddy. Anyway, now I've got what I came for. Too bad it cost me a ring, but I was told to buy time, and I did. Lord Sombron and Lady Vale should be long gone by now.
You mean... they were here after all?
Whoops. Didn't mean for that to slip out. Ah well, your divine dragon's a fraud. Take your time falling apart. Will you scatter to the winds? Cut each other's throats? So many options. See ya.
We just let him leave?
I'm the Fell Dragons.
He was lying, Divine One. I don't believe a word of it.
We can't be divided by the enemy. We must be calm.
Saying Sombron isn't here may have been another attempt to mislead us.
Let's look around and make sure. Well?
This place is well and truly deserted.
Yes. Sombron is no longer in the castle.
What should we do now?
If what Gris said is true, I should leave.
What do you mean, leave?
Oh, don't go pulling a Dimitri on me now.
The night Mother died, I had a nightmare where I was surrounded by flames. My hair and eyes were red. Now I see. It wasn't a nightmare. It was a memory.
One bad dream doesn't prove anything.
Maybe not. But this will. Emblem Sigurd,
I am here.
you knew me 1,000 years ago, didn't you? Answer this. Was Gris telling the truth? Am I the Fell Dragon's child?
You are.
How can this be?
So it's true.
I apologize. With your memories lost, we thought you could be happy living this way. That is what Lumera and I agreed upon the day you awoke.
Why did Mother call me her child?
Sombron had turned his back on you. Your life was in danger. Both you and Lumera wished above all else to be a family. That is the fullness of my knowledge.
That's plenty, Sigurd. Thank you.
So is this like a Parthenax moment? Is it... Oh fuck, I forget the quote. It's been so long since I've heard it. But is it better to be born good or to overcome your evil? Or something like that, like overcome your evil inclinations? I don't remember the quote. It's gonna bother me now. I've played thousands of hours of Skyrim, and I've forgotten it. Yeah, what is better? To be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? Yeah?
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not a divine dragon. I never was.
You have nothing to apologize for.
Only a divine dragon could imprison Sombron as Mother did. What chance do we have now of surviving this war? Without such power, there's no hope of stopping Sombron.
Why would you assume you lack the power of a divine dragon? You have fell dragon blood, yes, but you forget your own abilities. Think back to Floroport, when my ring was returned and you summoned me.
But I used an invocation.
Emblem summoned through a fell dragon's power cannot communicate. Think back upon emblems summoned with the fell dragon's power. Could they speak?
No. When I called out to them, they didn't answer.
Please, explain further, Sir Sigurd.
A fell dragon's invocation robs an emblem of their free will. Their service is compulsory. With a prayer, the emblem keeps their free will. A divine dragon would wish nothing less. You use both invocation and prayer.
You mean I do have the power of a divine dragon?
Precisely. Your hair and eyes prove the fact eloquently. At one time, both were red. The blue is proof that through Lumera's love, you have inherited a divine dragon's power. Lumera shortened her life so that you could succeed her as the divine dragon.
Mother.
We emblems fight alongside you of our own volition. We could only deepen our bonds with you because you have the power of a divine dragon. You are the one intended to carry on Lumera's legacy. Will you still leave after hearing this? Is that your wish?
No. I want to stay. I can't change that I'm the Fell Dragon's child. I know that, but I would like to continue on as the Divine Dragon. If he will have me.
Of course we will.
Alfred.
Sure, first we came to you because we needed your help. But now I care about you. Fell or divine or whatever else. We need you. So no more talk about leaving us.
We'd never have made it this far without you. I will follow wherever you lead. If you have only half of your power, so be it. We'll make up for the other half.
What matters to me isn't how you were born. It's what you do with the life you're given. If you choose to live as a divine dragon, then that's what you are.
Conflicted as I might be, I am made resolute by the terror I feel at losing you. Because, to me, you are the divine dragon. Your leaving would not change that bond.
Everyone agrees. After all, you are what connects them. You are, and always shall be, the divine dragon.
Thank you, everyone. There's much I don't know. I may have made choices in the past that I can't take back, but for now, I'll continue on this journey with you.
We emblems will follow you, completely of our own free will.
We have money again. Fuck yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Oh. Not quite. I was checking to see if I got Diamant to level 20 so I could reclass him. Well, second seal it back to Successor. But not quite. And that's fine. Almost have 2000 SP on Panette. Or sorry, no, that was a Lear, not Panette. I still need to get skills on Saline, Pandreo, and Yunaka. Like, I've got 2000 SP to work with, which means I can get very powerful effects on them. I just don't know what I want to get.
Divine Dragon.
Mavier, it's you.
I overheard your conversation about being Lord Sombron's child. If that is true, then I urge you to help Lady Vale.
What? You're not here to stop us?
All this time, Lady Vale has been sustained by a desire to meet her sibling. If she sees you, she will be saved. I know it.
I'd like to support her like my friends here have supported me. Vale, the true Vale, has been a friend to us. But we don't know where she is.
She is traveling with Lord Sombron to the land of Lethos.
Lethos? But why?
You will have to trust me. I can explain on the way.
What do you think?
Let's go with him.
Okay. I like how I found it very interesting that Roy didn't have a rapier as an engaged weapon. But then I stopped to think about it, and I was like, if they ever add, like, Elliewood as DLC, basically all of the GBA lords except for Ephraim had a rapier as their weapon at the very beginning. Elliewood did, Roy did, and Erica did. Oh man, only 1 silver? That's pretty brutal. I got the quintuple silver pull on my Alir solo file. I was like, oh my god, these are the goodest boys. These are the best doggos. Look at them go. Alright, we're gonna do these real quick.
Spirit of the cards, moon and stars above, cast your divine light and answer me.
Cedal? What is he trying to divine with such desperation?
I beg you to tell me, will this food offer the perfect fuel for my dance? I yearn for more than merely food. I crave the savory. Please, spirit of the cards. That was not the answer I wanted.
He's not acting like he did before. Not at all. Please, calm down, Cedal.
Divine One.
I don't know what this is about, but this isn't like you at all. Crave the savory?
Are you trying to tell me that eating this will provide the perfect fuel for my dance? It's dough fried in butter and then bathed in an oil sauce. And it's incredibly delicious.
Oh, I had one of those. It was delicious, all right. I think it'd be extra fuel for your dance.
Are you making that up?
Well?
Or just guessing? I'll need to consult the cards for the real answer.
I mean, I think I do know. You're doing all that dancing. It's got to be good fuel. And tasty, too.
You don't understand. A dancer of my caliber must be disciplined. On the battlefield, I must inspire all with my perfect dancing. So I must eat only perfect food. If I'm careless, if my dancing suffers and someone dies, I can't allow that.
Cedal, I'm sorry.
Oh, hey.
Now, I must retreat to the
Divided Payload, thanks for the raid. Party of 5. Welcome, friends. Hello. You caught us just at the end of the Gris Fog chapter. I'm just cracking through some supports real quick before we carry on. What's up, what's up? How's it going?
You're looking a bit grim, Saline. Problems?
Ah, Divine One. Do you remember the tea we enjoyed together the other day?
It was so good that I'm not likely to forget it anytime soon.
It would appear that shipments of those leaves are becoming a favorite target for highwaymen, changing the trade routes.
How goes
has made
tonight?
little
Divided
difference.
Payload.
Each day brings
Hopefully well.
more victims.
That's awful.
I am not often called on to intervene directly in matters such as these, but this is an emergency, and no one in Firene knows more of tea than I. So Mother has requested that I handle the problem, personally.
How do you feel about that?
I suspect it may be part of my education. Even if my brother is first in line for the throne, I am still Princess of Firene.
So what's your plan for dealing with them?
I thought I might drive them off with pranks. Wouldn't it be lovely if things were as simple as they are in folktales?
Good. I'm
But
doing alright tonight.
real life isn't so pastoral.
No, it's not.
I will show no mercy to anyone who causes suffering to the people of Firene, and I will go to any lengths so that my people may enjoy the peace they are accustomed to. Don't look at me like that, Divine One. This is a duty I must bear. Now then, please excuse me. Action must be taken in this matter, swiftly.
That is a remarkably mature and resolute, I guess, stance to take on the matter. Nice. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm doing alright. I was really tired earlier when I got off of work, but I got off a little bit early, so I took a nap before stream, which was pretty nice. I'm not much of a nap taker usually. In fact, I'm pretty bad at napping. But it was pretty good. It was good, and I'm feeling great. Got through the Gris Fog of War chapter 20, with basically out incident. Like, I didn't use a charge of the time crystal thing until I was like, oh wait, no, I wanted to kill that guy for the dagger before I left. Let me rewind that and go get that dagger real quick. Like, there was never a point where I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. So, yeah, it was good. How was your stream?
Pendreo?
Oh, hey, Seadoll. If you're trying to spring another lesson on me, I'm not interested.
After everything I taught you, your rhythm is still just so awful.
So, what? Did you come here only to insult me?
No, not at all. Honestly, I was just watching you dance, and I realized that I was wrong.
Huh?
Enjoying the dance. That's what's important. I decided to teach you because I thought you were having a hard time with it. That's how it looked anyway. But just now, you were dancing and loving it. I could see it.
I mean, yeah. I was having fun.
That's all that matters. If my master heard me now, he'd be angry with me. But it's something I needed to learn. Pendreo, I'm sorry I taught you not to enjoy dancing.
Listen, Seadoll. I just wanted to dance with you.
Really?
Yeah. And I still want to. It's just that your lesson wasn't really my style. What do you say? Want to give it another try?
I'd be happy to. Just dance to the beat of your heart. Can't go wrong if you do that.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Time to shimmy and shake in the name of fun. And then, how about another lesson? Nothing too tough. Just a quick, easy session.
I promise. My next lesson will be much more enjoyable.
How wholesome. Wholesome and enjoyable content. And now old people talk.
Excuse me, Lyndon. Do you mind if I ask you a bit of an odd question?
Ask away, Saphir.
Well, actually, never mind. Forget I said anything.
You seemed quite solemn about it. Whatever it was, there was pain there as well. As though something weighs heavily on your heart. I think you should go ahead and come out with it.
Okay. About 30 years ago, you'd already begun your career as a soldier of Elusia, right?
Indeed I had. I joined as a royal soldier almost immediately upon graduating Elusia's National Academy.
You must have taken part in campaigns against Brodia around that time then.
Yes. Yes, I did.
If I were to name a town or a village in Brodia, would you remember if... No, this is inappropriate. I shouldn't be asking.
Saphir,
I'm sorry to bother you. I hope I didn't offend.
Well now, this bears some looking into.
Saphir's a warrior, right? Why does she clank like an armored knight when she walks? Sorry, I'm deliberating builds.
Yes.
So, I kind of wanted to give Lyndon a try. Just as a unit. And...
how hard do you want to go?
I was thinking, okay, well, Lyndon Celica would probably be a really good combination, especially since we just got her back.
Looking good.
She's a really strong magic emblem.
Perfect.
Problem is, I would want to be benching basically Celine.
You've got this.
And Celine has Byleth, which is Dance of the Goddess, which I didn't use last map because there was never really enough of a clump of enemies or even really a necessity for it.
You've got this. Keep it up.
So
perfect.
I could also put Byleth with Lyndon.
Looking good.
Because I mean they fill the same role currently. Because like the fact that Celine has swords is completely irrelevant. Like I'm using her as a Thoron chipping staff bot. Which
looking good.
Which is the same thing Lyndon would be doing. Except he has slightly better magic and a relevant personal skill.
Perfect.
Because we could use... I don't have an elf under, actually, so maybe not. But he could use a lower ranked tome for extra crit.
Nice.
Which could be interesting.
Keep it up. Nice.
There we go.
Great job. I'm so proud.
Nice. +3 strength. That's good.
Let's do this again sometime.
Better than a tonic. But yeah, like, if we look at Celine's stats here, discounting the emblem bonus from Byleth, she has 19 magic. She does have Ignis, which is a really nice effect, but it's not always consistent. Her dex is only 18. 18% trigger rate is not a consistent boost in damage. Lyndon, on the other hand, has the same magic, is slightly faster, I believe. Oh no, she has 23 speed. Never mind. Huh. But he's also 12 levels lower than Celine. And he has 2000 SP to work with, just like she does. So we could quite easily make him work, I think. The only thing that she's got over him is just an absolute fuckload of luck. But we don't really need that. So doesn't really matter. His build is also significantly higher at 10. And as a Sage, that's actually quite high. That's the same as Pandreo was in Mage Knight before he got that lucky build level. Which is enough to fully... I don't think it fully negates the weight of Bolganon. I think Bolganon weighs 11. But 10 is still quite good. We could also reclass him into Mage Knight. But I feel like I might want to try him as Sage. So... fuck it. Why not, right? Lyndon, why don't you trade Celine? I never wound up using the Illume Staff either. That's another thing, is we can stow the Illume Staff and have an additional staff option. Like a Fortify or something like that. I think he has higher staff rank available than Celine does at A staffs. Yeah, she only has B staffs. So that could also be relevant, because he can now use stuff like Fortify. And Entrap. Actually, I don't think I had access to it. Well, no, I think Hortensia could entrap. Oh, Hortensia can entrap with Micaiah and just drag an entire enemy formation to us. That's disgusting. Stop it. Hortensia, you're gross. Oh. Yeah, she has S stabs, of course. Oh. That's incredible. I need to buy more stabs too. I have money now, which is great. Before I had no money, now I have money, which is a good thing.
Oh. Yep.
So
Which would you like? Have a nice flight.
I think pick up a few men's stabs for sure. We'll probably wind up picking up some status stabs. If we have an additional freeze to get, we'll get that. Maybe another warp. Does anybody know what the, like, why my Sami is different here? Because this Sami is, like, targeted shooting things, where on my Alir solo file, which was started after this one, it's just like a constantly firing additional shot. Is that just a patch thing? Where it was like, okay, if it started before this, it's this. If it started after this, it's that. Like, I don't know. Oh, scuffed it. Everything is horrible. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. That's on the laundry list of stuff to pick up. I don't particularly like Celica's engraving. It takes a ton of might off and just gives a shitload of dodge, which is interesting. It gives you a very easily accessible way of avoiding criticals, incoming criticals. But it definitely
from the Divine One.
does not provide a very good generalized combat weapon.
Until next time.
Something like the Holy engraving does, or the Emblem of Beginnings, or something of that nature. It's like Leafs, Sigurds, Marths. Those all provide like really great generalized combat feel, because they increase weapon might, give you a bit of a void, give you a bit of crit, something like that. The Academy emblem as well is another one that does a very similar feel. Not Porch. Engrave. But if we look at the Emblem of Dawn, it removes 3 might. Oh, wait, no, it's 40 of... Wait, no, that's Micaiah, sorry. Where's Celica? There it is, Echoes. So it removes 1 might, removes 1 weight, and increases your dodge by 50. So I suppose if you've got like a really heavy weapon, or a weapon that you're just kind of barely weighed down by, for instance, like if I was to get a Bolgan on for Lyndon, that could be an interesting one. It also would give him that 50 avoid. Or that 50 dodge to help mitigate his lower luck stat. Excalibur being effective against flying is really nice. I did not realize how much avoid was built into the Emblem of Dawn. 3 might is a lot to lose, though. But that's a lot of might to lose for 40 avoid. But that could be really, really strong. Also, if I had known that it would be so long for me to get Marth back, I probably would have just forged this Steel Lance into a silver and then upgraded that. to use this forge. Like, that is just wild. Yeah, a weapon like this really wants... I don't know. What does the Silver Blade want?
I'll be here.
Also, who wants the Silver Blade? I still think it's okay on Diamant, but of my units that I deploy, the only ones that are going to use a physical sword is Alear and Diamant. So I'll probably bring it on Diamant. It's a little bit stronger than the Silver Axe. It's not nearly as big of an upgrade as like the Silver Great Lance was for Louis, comparative to other weapon types. But it's a pretty free forge, like first forge. How does this look? Very doable. We just need a few silver and a little bit more iron, and we can get Alear's dagger to +4, which would be nice. Her combat is really good, but she does fall just shy of 1 rounding some enemy types. So that could be pretty good. Don't particularly feel like forging the Peshkats is going to be worth it. And a +5 steel is also not going to be worth it for Yunaka. Yeah, I'm just never going to forge a steel. I'm never going to forge a +2 silver weapon, I don't think. So we can make a flame lance or a silver lance. And then forge that. Or just a +4 steel. That would have 20 base crit. That's not bad. But it just doesn't feel good to forge it at all. Forging the effective weaponry does feel nice. Extra damage on those, but I still don't know if this counts as like using DLC. I don't think I've used the weapon yet though. And this one's just sitting in the convoy. It's like, it's kind of a killer axe. Maybe I should use it on Panette. Yeah, slightly higher might than the killer axe. And with the forge, probably has... Or not the forge, the engraving, it probably has higher crit. If not higher than equivalent. So if we put it to +2. Actually, I don't think I can put it to +2. No, I can only put it to +1. And I really want to keep my silver for forging the silver dagger to +4. Okay. We'll hold off on that for now. This forging Excalibur also takes just silver. Excalibur is going to be a nice tool to put on Ivy, I think, though. Her build is exactly 9. So it's a pretty nice tool right there. +2 Elfire is slightly stronger than it is, though. That might just be one of those things where we just snatch out of the convoy for effective damage. if we find a map that we're going to be enemy phasing flyers on. Maybe not even enemy phasing, but we just want effective damage for flyers. Because, like, Excalibur is really good at cutting down wyverns, since their res is relatively low. It's not so great against, like, griffins, but it's still quite nice to have access to. Well, I have the secret book. Whose accuracy suffers a lot? Diamant with axes. It also helps increase his soul trigger rate. Ivy's accuracy issues with Thoron are actually completely fixed by the Sacred Rune. So that's pretty fine. She also has dual support now. Which, no, it doesn't provide hit. Just avoid. Either way. None of my units really have significant accuracy problems. It's mostly just my axe units. Like, Rosado has pretty bad accuracy with axes. Penette, honestly, though, seems fine. But if there's ever a point where we need accuracy, the Tomahawk with the Awakening Rune is probably just enough to make it work. An extra 30 hit. Now that I think about it, the Awakening Rune might be better suited on the Silver Great Axe for Rosado. Because the Void is largely wasted on my Ike carrier. So... yeah, what if we put Blazing on this? 2 less might, but more hit and crit? The crit could be really relevant for 2 range, and the extra might on the Tomahawk I don't think matters, because if I need to grab a weapon with extra might, we can just engage and get, like, the Irvin, or the Hammer, or Bragnell. And then if we put the Awakening Rune here... yeah. We do lose a little bit of hit, but we gain that Avoid, and some extra might too, which is nice. It also makes it heavier, but only by 1 point. And Rosado's speed's actually been doing quite well. We're not looking to double with it, we're just looking to avoid getting doubled. Generally, the units that we're baiting with a great weapon are not going to be that bad in terms of... yeah, let's do it. We'll swap them. And I think Penette will make much better use of the crit than... actually, do I want to put that on her? Or do I want to give it to, like, Diamant? Because I'm not really worried about the Avoid on Diamant either, but I want better accuracy on him. Keep going back to the Tomahawk, because just like 1-2 range is so strong. And like, the weight on this doesn't really matter because Diamant's attack speed goes so high after stacking Speed Taker for a turn or two. Like, it doesn't matter if he's weighed down by a couple of points. What is this on currently? Silver Great Lance. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one to have it on. Just trying to spread out the forge love a little bit, because, like... Yeah, we'll put Blazing on the Tomahawk and see how I feel about it. Probably should have put it on the +2 one and traded it from Panette to him. I'm trying to spread out the forge love, because, like, these effects are really strong. Like, the difference of Ivy having this Thoron versus a different one is astronomical. So... yeah. And I think in my next playthrough, I'll probably try and put the Marth engraving on a steel bow early on, and maybe just upgrade that to a silver and use that on somebody.
I'll be here.
But yeah, I'm definitely really, really interested in trying different unit builds in the next one. I've heard people talking about using, like, Ike with Diamant, which is a really interesting thought. It largely negates the... or, sorry. It makes the, like, avoid loss from fair fights completely irrelevant, because he always has 0 avoid.
Hello.
He's pretty tanky, but not as tanky as Panette is. You know, I'm just interested in trying out new units. Not that I don't love the units that I'm currently using. I think they're fantastic. You know, I just want to try out some new ones. Ivy has A support with everybody but Alir. That's pretty good. Sashimi. Nice. Love sashimi.
This'll be just like mixing medicine. Okay, so if I add these two together, looks good. I think you'll really like this.
The flavor is invigorating. I approve.
Nice flavor.
I set aside a little for you.
Nice. +1 magic. That's good, because I'm really bad about using tonics, so getting that extra boost of stats from mealtime is nice. Like, speed is just something so, like, universal. Let's see. Of my units that have a want for XP... yeah, we can get a level on Pendrayo here.
Come on, let's do this!
I'm Tamara, the future queen, and here I come! I lost. Fair and square.
Blessed be this victory.
Ugh. 1 XP. Bruh.
I am Pendrayo, a royal soldier
Your
of
wings.
souls.
It's your favorite Illusian retainer, Rosado.
Why do you... Do I own a flame lance?
At least you're adorable when you're winning.
Why did Rosado have a flame lance? Ooh, magic. Love magic on Pandreo. Sure.
I'll put on a show for you.
It's me, the Brodian prince who isn't Diamant.
God, I hate Elkrist.
Such skill.
Hey, I actually won.
I can't wait to use him in my next run. So who am I putting Celica with? Like, Ivy would have been my first choice if I hadn't just gotten her all settled in with Lucina. Pandreo's another good one, but he gains so much from being with Corrin. Like, he's not getting anything useful from, like, the Dragon Vein, but the extra massive amount of HP, he is generally nearby other units, so Quality Time Plus gets a decent amount of use out of it. And the safe Dreadful Aura locking at 3 range is so nice to have access to. Like, it's been pretty universally used on every map so far that I've done. The only thing I could think of is maybe swapping Orin to Ivy, and then putting Lucina with someone else. But, like, my deployment slots have been so limited recently, it doesn't feel like it's going to be it doesn't feel like I'm going to have access to all the emblem rings. Unless they're going to start opening up my deployment slots to bringing every single unit. And anytime I put an emblem ring on Seedall, it's going to feel bad. Because I always just want to be dancing with Seedall. There's hardly ever going to be a time where I don't want to just dance with Seedall. And especially in conjunction with Dance of the Goddess. Like, I'll want to Dance of the Goddess and have Seedall as part of that Dance of the Goddess. Like one of the units that's getting danced for. Pleasantly surprised by how good Roy was for Alir as well. Actually really good. And we're closing in on 2000 SP again, so we'll hopefully be able to pick up a pretty good skill. Speed Taker is quite high on the list of just really powerful abilities to get. Eclipse Brace would also be really great to get, but Eclipse Brace costs like 3,000, so we'd have to start feeding stuff into the well to do that. And we do have the money for it technically, but like, I'm running through my head skills that are really, really good on Maddening mode to pick up for basically any unit. Pandreo might actually get a lot of value out of Celica, because I think she probably has some pretty good skills. Let's take a peek at the Celica Paralogue. I think that might be a pretty good one. But let's do Emblem Training with Pandreo and Celica. Yeah, because Celica gives plus magic. Like, that alone would be really good for Pandreo.
Come on! Let's do this!
I'm Celica. It's my pleasure. to be that strong.
Blessed be this victory. To fight beside someone as revered as you is just wow! I think I need to say a prayer.
Oh, Pendreo, please, try to think of us as equals and as friends.
Yeah, resonance is a really powerful effect. And I'm wondering how much that costs. Resonance is 2,000. Okay, so if there's a Resonance Plus... Yeah. Also, though, Magic Plus 2 and Resonance are basically just the same thing. Now, Resonance would apply to physical damage as well, so I see the difference between them. But for the purposes of putting it on a mage, Magic Plus 2 just seems better because you're not losing the HP for it. So I guess Resonance would apply to, like, Torrential Roar, whereas Magic Plus 2 wouldn't. We'll have to see what other skills Celica has to offer once we've completed her Paralogue. Let me get my free support points as well. And I think it said we have some stock available at the flea market. So maybe we could buy some more silver. I need silver. And we could possibly forge a Lear's Dagger if we do that. That would be pretty giga. Speaking of pretty. Hey, Rosado. Anyway. Ooh. I really like the Linden Hortensia support so far. It's been really wholesome.
Hey! Well then!
Also, I've learned a fact about Anna. Apparently, Anna's a really broken mage. I didn't know that.
Thanks for shopping. Thanks for shopping. Feel free to come again.
Actually, I think I need one more silver. Actually, no.
Feel free
If
to come
it
again.
is, I can just go back and get it and buy more. But I can't sell it back for the full price, so... If I can sell it at all. So apparently Anna has, like, a 50% base personal magic growth, which goes up to, like, 70... Like, I think 60-ish in Mage Knight and 75 in Sage. Which is really high. Okay, we do need a little bit more iron and another silver.
I'll be here.
So we can transfer, like, 2 steel into iron and then just buy this last silver. I still find it
Thanks for shopping. Feel free to come again.
unbelievable that there's no slider for buying items still in this game. I literally went to buy all the steel ore they had on my solo account, and I had to hit the A button 100 times to purchase all 50 steel. Once to select, once to confirm. Maybe even more than that. Instead of hitting A, left, or right, and then A again. That was genuinely upsetting. Alright, so I need iron. I want to trade steel. Need to do 2. Here we go.
I'll be here.
And then we're fine. Silver Daggy +3 to Silver Daggy +4, baby. Hell yeah, dude.
I'll be here.
Nice. And then stabs. And let's go take a peek in at the Celica Paralogue. Probably want to grab...
I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
3 mends.
I thank you.
I want to do some dumb things with that.
I thank
Silence. To have access to that.
I thank you.
Always love rescue strats. I believe I've purchased all the warp staves, which hurts a bit, but it's not bad. So here's my question. If I have... Now this is more of just like a general like thought rather than like a question I want an answer to, but like if I have a unit that is able to attack, i.e. Hortensia or Linden or Ivy, without taking a counter, so generally with 3 range, so Thoron is a really easy example of that. And then my follow-up unit can kill the enemy without taking a counterattack because their HP is low. What is the point of a Fracture Staff? Because enemy bulk is so high in this game. Like, I suppose if I wanted to attack into something with a smash weapon, there could be something. Or if I was trying to reach like a one-shotting threshold with a warrior, that could be something. Also, utilizing Micaiah, you could fracture multiple enemies in a turn to do this. But it feels so much more niche than you would expect it to be. Simply because a lot of your staff units can just attack and fulfill the same function as a fracture would, without utilizing a limited resource. Yeah, so less of a question and more of just a general statement. Actual question, though, is what skills should we get for Linden, and do I have any spirit fragments? I may have to start paying attention to Sami again. Yeah, we don't have a lot of spirit fragments. It's going to be hard to get people's bonuses up. But for now, Linden needs Byleth.
Byleth!
Together!
God, he sounds so decrepit. Byleth! We should at least get him to, like, level 5 with Byleth. I guess those levels are pretty free. But yeah, my bond fragments are definitely suffering right now. Mentorship is probably not
Scholar of Illusia.
A bad thing to inherit on him either.
Let the lesson begin. Be mindful.
I'm eager to analyze what factored into my loss.
Got him.
I'm a scholar, but not a professor. You have more experience in matters of mentorship.
I think you could be a good professor. I started as a mercenary, and I managed it somehow.
Okay. Also, the extra luck from Byleth would be really good for him. So, if Lyndon has Byleth, we'll have access to the Thyrsus, which means we probably... Let's see. Probably can just get a different weapon on him. Probably just Excalibur. Actually, let's swap Excalibur for Elfire here. I'm interested to see how relevant his personal skill is. Elfire being a C-rank tome, but having decent might comparative to other spells once it's been forged. He'll get that 20% crit from having a slightly lower weapon rank item than, like, say, a silver weapon. Or a silver great weapon. So, that's interesting, I think. What does Lyndon get from Violet? Lost and Found is not something I'm interested in getting up to. Divine Pulse is... But Divine Pulse is something that he has at baseline, I believe? Yeah, that's just like baseline Violet stuff. So I don't think I particularly care to pump any more Spirit Fragments into him. Just get to that next threshold and let him start building more bond levels. Yeah, I think we're done here. I get so wrapped up in the Somniel. Like, there's so much stuff to do. Bond conversations are available. Whose? Oh, Hortensia Micaiah. They got to 20. Nice.
My sister abandoned Illusia, even knowing I was still there. She left me behind.
You and Ivy are family. She cares about you more than anyone else in the world. Trust me.
How can you be so sure? Did you read her mind or something?
No, but I know how she feels. There's someone I care for in much the same way.
She's talking about Soth, bearer of Ike's children. Oh, man. What a mem. Let's see. So this is our next chapter, 21. Where is the Celica Paralogue? It should be around here somewhere, right? Is this it? Oh, no. Oh, Shrine. Okay. I saw sand and I saw a building and I was like, please not Archer Hell. Oh, please no sandy Archer Hell. Oh, God, I was about to be so sad. Alright. Let's take a peek in here. I spent so much time in the Somniel, we probably don't have enough time to do this map. We might, depending on how big it is. So is this the...
There's something about this island.
Okay.
It's like magical energy.
we're on an island. There's a couple of islands. I think the most notable one was the Kamui. Kamui's Afraid of Necro Dragons Island. Is that this one? Is that what we're about to do? The sea shrine is a shrine, so it would make sense. Also,
the Seabound Shrine was located in a place quite similar to this.
if this is like, if we look at this image from the top down, the boat would be in the north. We'd be approaching enemies from above. That's also how that map was laid out with the Necro Dragons. The Necro Dragons approached from... The Necro Dragons came at us from the bottom.
What kind of place was that?
It sat in the Novus Strait, off of Zofia. There was an altar to the goddess Milla in a cave.
I wonder if that means there's an altar here, too.
This place reminds me of those days. I'd just begun to experience life. I was so set on how I thought the world should be that I failed to heed my allies' advice.
That doesn't seem like you. Not to me, at least.
Back then, I visited Milla's temple, hoping to learn of a way to save my homeland. Then we discovered there was a Necro Dragon on the island. That thing could have killed us all, and we'd already fought a band of pirates. Saying it now, I realize how reckless we were.
It sounds to me like you were helping people as you traveled.
So, would you have chosen the same as I did?
Of course. I couldn't ignore anyone in need, no matter how dangerous the situation might be.
I know you wouldn't. You're courageous and strong. That's why we're here.
I suppose I don't understand. What do you mean?
This is where you will face your trial. Defeat me in combat, and our bond will grow stronger. Now take up your weapon, and let's see where your courage can take you.
I understand. And I'm going to win!
Ooh, we're starting on the boat. Oh, there's 6 enemies. 3 dragons. Oh, sorry, 7 enemies. There's Celica over here. So what's Celica got going on? Echo. Yep. Resonance plus is +3 damage in combat. And Holy Stance ++. Okay. So we've got... Elwind Mage, Elf Fire Mage, and an Elf Thunder Mage. So... Tobin... No. And then 3 dragons. Oh, this is bullshit. There was only 2 dragons in the original map. Wondering if they just approach immediately, like... This map layout seems so weird. Feels bad, but probably do it like that. Yeah, this map layout feels really weird. Let's give it a go. I mean, we've only got 7 enemies to deal with.
The preparations for battle are complete. Let's begin.
There. See the summoner? If we don't take them down quickly, things could get rough.
They're canters. Oh my god, they put canters in this game. What the fuck? I am so upset right now.
I live to serve. Emblem.
Okay.
Let's go. Stand down.
I've got this.
That is genuinely upsetting.
As if I lose.
Where to?
So, I think I want to set up a big warp next turn.
Taking notes.
It's like surround Linden with people to just like fucking ship.
Right away.
So like Louis.
As you wish, Divine One.
Let's go!
No mistakes.
Let's see. So do something like this.
How mysterious.
So a formation kind of like that. Greedy. I want the money. Ooh. Oh no, that is horrible. Immediately? There's always got to be some bullshit, doesn't there? Alright, hold on. I'm going to try and do this turn one then in that case. Which enemy type do I think is scarier? Probably the Lancers. Louis can very freely just fucking ignore sword boys. So if I just get Louis over there by himself, that's fine. Hortensia over here. So I need to deal with a group of lance units and then be ready to deal with a group of wyverns directly after. I think Pedreo is going to be a really good shout at dealing with those. Especially, we can maybe even just lock them in place around the Mystic. And they may not have slots to be summonable into. Penette engaged probably deals with the wyverns just fine. We could maybe even set up the Ivy, Hortensia, Bonded Shield strat again, because I'm pretty sure Hortensia always gets one-tapped by a wyvern. So, my goal here is to get Linden in the center of 4 units for a Dance of the Goddess, and then warp, like Micaiah warp 5 units to over here somewhere. And then those 4 units that got danced deal with this guy. And that should significantly reduce the strain the map puts on us. Units that don't need to be there is probably Ivy. I think I'm gonna see if I can't get Louis into range of the this guy turn 1 as well with the dance from Seedall. Ivy can just fly down over. So I guess that leaves us with Pandreo, Panette, Diamant, Pandreo, Panette, Diamant, and Alir. So Yunaka can probably just take the back seat for now until we get to the dragons. By the time we get to the dragons, we can get her forward as well. I can probably get a dance with her on Seedall and move her forward the following turn. So Ivy needs to be down here-ish for the probably turn 2, when we'll be doing a lot of enemy phasing of Wyverns with Hortensia. So Lyndon wants to be up a bit and then surrounded by these guys. Okay, that's not bad. This is probably a fine formation right here. And even if we can't kill every single one of them, we can get... Ooh, actually, hold on. Let me see... I think I might be just shy again of killing this guy with Diamant with a Strength Tonic, but I want to try it anyway. Because we were really close to it, but I think we're probably going to wind up 1 point short. I'll test it, and if it works, then I'll probably put Ivy in the formation with the warp rather than Diamant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We may be squares short of hitting adjacent to Alir, but we'll see. If nothing else, we can always just emergency fucking dome somebody randomly. Let's give it a go. Of course they put fucking Cantors in this game. God damn it.
Let us be off. Won't you join me?
The stage is mine.
We could even put Seedall in this formation if we wanted to. I kind of don't hate that. Oh. You know what? Celica can fucking bring it.
Here I come. Have at you.
It's a kill boss map, right? Bring it on, Celica.
How do I look?
I'll do my best.
Change of plans. We're just gonna delete Celica. So...
I hear you.
Understood.
Of course.
You called, eh?
Emblem, engage!
Allow me to demonstrate.
Ah, yes. The inspiring dance of Linden. Fantastic.
Emblem engage!
Where's my +1 range? Eh. That's okay. With Alear, she gets extra movement from Roy, so she should be fine. Alright, well, it's good to know we can't do that. Let's see. Right here is safe. Oh. Conserving uses of the warp staff. Yes, please.
Emblem, engage!
And we even get to cheese it with calling doubles. That's so dumb. She should warp Ragnarok one of the doubles. These guys will bonk one of the doubles each, and then we just fucking murder. I mean, there's a possibility that this was not the best spot to put them, but it's fine.
Yanaka here.
Oh yeah, Yunaka is here. Alright, we're warp ragging. Yep.
Oh, I detest violence.
I detest violence. Immediately commits a war crime. Alright.
Defeated, after all. Defeated, after all.
I suppose I didn't check. Okay, it is defeat Emblem Celica. Okay. I literally didn't check, so that's on me.
Rent?
But no, I did not check at all what the,
Allow me.
what the goal of the map was. I just assumed.
Let's begin. Me too.
Emblem, engage!
Ooh, that accuracy. Where does Alear need to stand to attack? She can't reach, actually. She's one square short. So we can maybe... I don't know. Blast some Dargans with fire? I guess. There's no way to get extra movement from Seedall here without warping with Hortensia. Effective weapon. Pretty nice, but god, these guys are chunky.
There's my opening.
Actually, I wouldn't have done any fire damage to them because they're flying, but still. Need somebody to take damage real quick.
May I? You're ornery.
Oh, didn't happen. I actually don't have enough units in range to kill Celica here. Like, nobody's in immediate danger, but... Well, Ivy is. Ivy's gonna get absolutely fucking slaughtered by these guys. Well, hold on. We have Diamant, Panette, and Louis. How much damage does Louis deal? Importantly, Louis does not get one-rounded, and he hits for 44. Celica has 53 HP. So with 2 chain attacks, Louis consistently kills. And we'll have 3 chain attacks in range. Panette hits for 49, which is not enough to kill. Diamant probably doubles her, yeah. Maybe the Mulagir is our best attack here. 52 damage. Accuracy's not the best. Tomahawk's accuracy's way better. Okay. So... I think this is our best option here. We swing with Panette. Ooh, not having a forge on Panette really hurts her accuracy.
I will help. Oh no! Shrewdly done.
Alright. And then Diamant. Needs 1 hit, 1 chain attack to connect to kill. Strong.
Let's begin. I'm not done yet.
Allow me. I can't retreat now.
Okay. And here I thought I didn't have enough damage. How foolish of me. Yeah, that's the game right there. Also, I love this Echoes music, man. That is so good. Aw, she doesn't do enough damage. Yeah, she would have got one shot, so if we did need to sit around and enemy phase a bunch, then this would have been the key.
I will help.
We could have put a flyer effective tome on Hortensia, and then bonded shielded next to her with Ivy, and done what we did on the Roy Paralogue quite easily. So we need 2 chain attacks to hit here out of 3.
Over here.
There we go.
So be it.
Well, that was easy. Nice. Louis got reds. Beautiful. What a couple of legends. Yeah, the fact that you could just bait Emblem Celica with her own ability made that super simple.
The victory is yours. That was very well done.
Thank you, Celica.
You grow stronger, along with the power of your bonds. Keep forging deeper connections with your allies as you fight this war. Do that, and you will have the strength you need to save this world.
Also, I would like to point out, if Louis did get one-rounded by Celica and was unable to use the Silver Great Lance in combat, we could have very easily just hit her with him when she was at low HP, and then gone for maybe a less accurate kill with Panette. And we also could have just expended a use of Warp and put Seedall over there, or both Seedall and Yunaka. Maybe. At least we could have put Seedall, maybe even Alir over there, if we were warping, so we had plenty of additional options to get that done on that turn if Louis did not survive at 1 HP.
I understand. And I'll do my best to strengthen the bonds I have, and forge new ones if I can.
Once you've used that strength to bring peace, it will be your kindness that you will lean on. With kindness, you can build a world where no one hurts for the sake of hurting.
Do you really think that's something I can do?
Oh, the road will be long and treacherous, but you're just the person to make the journey.
If you say so, Celica. I suppose there's no choice other than to try.
Well, keep doing your best. We'll bring kindness back to the world.
Yes, we will.
Nice. I'm glad they managed to sneak in the different type, like a reference at least to a bunch of the different types of food in Echoes, like oranges and flour and fish and all sorts of different stuff. I'm really glad that snuck in with one of Celica's skills. Like, it's not... I don't think it's a good ability. It's a powerful effect, but it requires you to get a packed lunch, which is not guaranteed to happen. And not something I would want to inherit a skill on, just to maybe sometimes have access to it. Now, I was told there was going to be a flamingo here, and I do not see a flamingo. This is deeply upsetting. This orange dot is a seagull and a cat. Unbelievable. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. Putz around in the Somniel for a little bit and probably call it. So, and I'll do that off screen, I guess. Not really much that I want to do in here. Linden versus Saline was basically unnoticeable because they fulfilled the exact same function that either of them would have done, which was use Dance of the Goddess exactly once in that map. So we'll definitely be taking a look at Linden in the next map that we do and see if his performance can at least be similar to Saline's. and if the additional staff rank matters. Since we have Hortensia already piloting our high-end stabs, these stabs may not be such a necessary thing to have. Also, he only dealt 3 damage when he did attack, but that was to Celica, who has really high res, so we'll see how his performance looks whenever he's up against units that don't have good resistance. But yeah, that's it. We're done. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And thanks again to Lighted Payload for the raid. Always appreciated and glad to have you stop by. Tomorrow we'll be back to it. Probably just do the next chapters until we run into another paralogue. Maybe do that, and then we'll carry on. We are almost out of paralogues, though. Like, we have the Marth paralogue left. That's it. We've done the rest. Unless we get some other ones, like, that are story paralogues and not emblem paralogues. But, yeah, Celica Paralogue, super easy. Definitely helps just cheesing it. Like, I'm sure that would have been manageable, honestly. Like, they were spread apart enough where you could easily isolate specific weapon types. Like, I could have put Panette over by the Lance guys. I could have put my Yunaka Ivy duo in range of the Wyverns and dealt with them. And Louis was already over by the Swordmaster, so say Celica didn't move, that was a pretty easy thing to deal with. And Louis dealt with the Summoner on turn 1 via Sigurd and Dancing, so not really that big of an issue. So I feel like that probably would have been fine. Even though Diamant did fall, again, just like a point or two short of one-shotting with... Actually, I didn't check after the Strength Tonic if he was going to not one-shot the Mystics. So, something to look into, I guess. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. But until then, well, take care of yourselves. Stay beautiful. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's a short list. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. But until then, bye-bye.